The classic helper for every photographer, the tripod. And of course, it's not always allowed to just use a tripod, especially in public areas or on private ground even. So what is left? Left is everything where you have a permission to do so. And that's sometimes really, really important to have that permission. For example, in big cities in the United States, I would always check if you need something, especially LA or New York. It can be very expensive to just put your sticks down to the ground and hope for the best. And if you get asked if you're a professional, then it's tempting to say yes, but in the moment you know exactly you do it just for your own fun or for a project that no one pays. Don't say professional, just for fun. You might get away with it. Otherwise, maybe you have a couple of $100 in front of you on a little paper. Okay, enough with the fear talk, because it should make fun, and so you stay in fun mode. I wanted to give you the idea. Sometimes it's clever to ask for permission. Anyway, tripods, very, very helpful, and there are other things that makes everything stable, but tripods are so easy to use, and you can put them all over the ground. You can extend or shorten the legs to get even on very weird floors, everything straight. And straight is here one of the magic words. And you see me here a little bit over the top, but it works for me because I'm used to video tripods. And video tripods have always that big ball in the middle. And from the tripod where I have shot this image, that was a video tripod, and normally I just plant it on the ground and level the ball, and then I can work. It's so easy. And that is why I love to have a ball head. I have even a ball head on my monopod, even that's maybe a little bit over. Anyway, so what I do here is, of course, I put roughly the tripod into the ground, and then I level here with my ball head everything, like these levelers helps me. And I have a little leveler even here on this rotational plate. And I could go here now, of course, and rotate the whole thing with these things here, but it wouldn't be really straight. And here I have everything very horizontally, and then I can work very nicely. And work means here that I have something, I just say the brand, and sorry, there are maybe other brands. I use Manfrotto a lot, and so you can fine-tune here this one. You mount your camera on it, you dial a little bit here, a little bit there, or just pull this little trigger and you can slide it back and forth. It's fantastic to work with, and you get very fast your setting here. And when you have a little mark on the camera where your nodal point is, fantastic. But have in mind that zoom lenses like this one here have not really a fixed nodal point. And even a fisheye, when you read some discussions on the web, some say based on how much you take, you have a different nodal point. It's a longer story, but I have discussed this already. Anyway, the main thing of tripod is, of course, the right height. Then level out your camera when you want to shoot only one horizontal row, and have the nodal point exactly here on this axis here. That is the important axis here to have. This must be absolutely vertically, and then your work later on is much simpler. And I use here this little guy where I have degrees here, and I can check the lens one time, look through, and then I notice how much I need. I normally use a third of overlapping, and I just check how many degrees I need for this setting here. If it is 16 or 35 millimeter, I need a different degree here. And then I can shoot pretty much blindly. And blindly means here, of course, that I have taken from several directions first the light and calculate roughly an average out of that. And of course, I know already when there is maybe a super bright light source in the scene. I do not take that into account. A light meter would be, of course, the best solution for that, and then do your math. And then HDRI, one time around, we have discussed this. Okay, this is pretty much all I have to tell. Have an eye on fisheye lenses, for example, and I will discuss this, of course, when you have some stuff sticking out. This will be in a picture and will create some work. Sometimes that is unavoidable, of course. And one little hint on the end, and maybe perhaps you know that already. When I go here slowly to the top of the camera, do you know this little sign here? This sign is exactly printed on the camera body where the sensor is. So when you want to measure something, use this always. So you know maybe perhaps when you use a lens on a different body how much the difference is. So you don't have to think always exactly or whatever. And it helps to know the nodal point of the lens and where the sensor is in some cases. Okay, and of course, I shoot always everything in manual. We have discussed this, so I don't say that again and again. What I wanted to say, and sometimes I'm really surprised about some people who try to start discussions with me about the camera body. This is the camera body that I bought because I thought it's a good one, but I would immediately jump to another one when I would think that's better or that fits more my needs. I have, of course, invested a lot in glass, and to hear arguments that this brand or the other brand is better is maybe nice to hear. But if you have invested a huge amount in glass, you don't change so fast. You change inside of the brand. And so whenever you meet me on the street, I'm not open for brand A versus brand B discussions. That's something that I think is a waste of my time and waste of your time. Get to know your camera. Get to know your lenses in and out. There is nothing better than exactly this knowledge. You can pull out of many cameras more than you think, but you need to know it. And the knowledge of your camera is worth more than the best camera in the world that you don't know. That's pretty much similar to the best camera is always the one that you have with you or the one that you own, of course. So that was my little rant against brand versus brand, and I hope we can, if we meet, talk about something nice. Let's hop to the next one. Thanks for listening.